So there's something not right over here.
That's on.
Because I can't see any volume coming in here, which is wrong.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Got something?
Yep.
Do you see something now?
It's amazing that you're running a remote camera live.
David, this is an absolutely amazing platform. Totally amazing. You got it?
Yep.
All right, good.
All right.
Oh,
Okay, that's the old one.
okay, let's get the new one up
Okay,
here.
so that's not the one. Why am I hearing that one?
Oh.
Oh, is that the sound you're hearing, or are you hearing this?
So you're not hearing live stuff?
Where's the live one? REMarkTO. There should be a live video in here right now. That should be live right now. I'm live somewhere.
Okay, I'm not saying another word.
That's the answer. That's the answer. Okay, guys, we're going to get started. Thanks so much for your patience. So, this is a brand new setup for us. It's a brand new room for us, and thanks for the patience of trying to figure it out. But one of the things that we're trying to do is we'd like to have people in the room, but we're also broadcasting it around the world. And that's where the largest audience is. There's a 26-second delay between what happens here and what happens out there, though. So it's a little bit, we're kind of monkeying around trying to make it work. So I'm going to do an intro. I'm going to say hello to everybody, and we're just so we can walk through the exercise of seeing whether we can do what we want to do, okay? So when you go home tonight, go to the website and watch it, because there's things that are happening that you won't see here, but the rest of the world is going to really be thrilled just to see, okay? We're going to blow away everybody. Okay, and this is Adriana. She's our server for the evening, and she's going to be coming in regular. Make it a point that, don't be polite, or order as much as you'd like, and make sure you get stuff. Are we ready, Addie?
We're live.
Okay, we're live. Okay, good. Okay, so here we go. Welcome to REMarkTO, your go-to place for marketing strategies and tools to build a stronger business and make more money. Remarkable conversations led by recognized industry experts who come to share openly and freely. Tonight we're coming to you live from Sabina's Grill in Pickering. It's a family dining spot, sports bar, really nice atmosphere. Tuesday night's chicken wing night, right? So if you're local, come on out. They're excellent wings. I just ate a whole plate full of them. And we'd like to take a minute to welcome our guests tonight, David Phillip and Michelle Sharp. David Phillip and Michelle Sharp. David Phillip and Michelle Sharp. They're going to be sharing with us cutting-edge technology on virtual tours. There's some really amazing ways to showcase houses in today's world, and we're going to be learning about that tonight. It's just excellent. I want to thank the people who came out tonight. There's a smaller crowd than we were hoping for, but that's okay. That's okay. It's hard to get people out, and this year what we're trying to do is rotate around Toronto. We've always been in the same place, and when we're in the same place, we always see the same faces. So we're trying to make some changes this year. We're trying to adjust things so that we can move around the city and hopefully get exposure to different agents, different communities, and maybe get other new faces in the room, and there's some great faces here tonight. I'd like to make note of Jackie Tanner. Jacqueline and I have been trading real estate for 22 years, which is a hoot. I'd also like to make note that Paul Etherington's in the room tonight, past president. Is that right? Yeah. And as we travel around from one community to another, one part of Toronto to another, we're going to try and have someone in the room who's local and can share with us what's happening in this particular part of the market. And Paul's been kind enough to offer to share that information with us. So come on up, Paul. Paul Etherington.
Thanks, Dave. Dave just asked me to do this a couple minutes ago, so
That's right.
I'm the past president of the Toronto Real Estate Board, and I'm the broker of record at Royal Heritage Realty. We serve Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, and Oshawa out here in Durham region. The market is booming. Everything is selling. We have a huge shortage of listings. We have way more buyers than we have houses, and the prices have gone up anywhere around 15 to 20% in the last year and a half. We're up at least $100,000. Average sale price is now well over $500,000, and it's a very, very busy time out here. We just need some more listings. Like most of the GTA is all the same. So Anything else? Okay, thank you, sir.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. So your inventory, how is it?
We are really short. Everything that's coming out, people are holding offers, and we're getting 6, 7 offers on every listing.
So is there, in your office, do you find there's a strategy that works best for agents that run into that? Like a listing agent who takes a list, getting a listing right now is almost like winning the lottery, it seems.
Yeah, most of the listing agents are listing a property Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, putting it on the market Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, doing offers Sunday or Monday night. And we're getting 6 or 7 offers, and every time we get one, we seem to set a new high price for the area. So, yeah, it's tough with buyers. Agents are doing 4, 5, and 6 offers before their clients are finally getting one, and it's a hard time to be.
It seems like it's a bad time to be a seller because that means you become a buyer once you're successful, right?
You know, that's a problem. If a seller's trying to buy, if a seller's moving out of town or something,
Yeah.
they're laughing. They're making lots of money, and if they own something else or they're buying 30, 40 miles away from the GTA, they're okay. But right around here, it's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it really is.
So do you see that changing anytime soon?
I don't, because, every time we have 6 or 7 offers on a property, one person gets it, and there's still 5 or 6 people who want to buy a similar property, and we don't have 5 or 6 more properties to sell them. So,
I think that's a trend that's working its way right across the province. I know where I am, we're seeing it this year where we hadn't seen it before.
Right.
And I think it's probably moving east and west, like radiating out of Toronto, right?
yeah, it's really radiating from Toronto, because we used to get, over asking in the GT area in Durham region was $5,000 or $10,000 over asking. Now we're getting $100,000 over asking, and we're putting stuff up, and we're thinking, okay, it's going to go for this much money, and then we're getting these offers. We're going, I can't believe it's selling for this much.
It
And
makes it a challenge.
Yes,
It's
it
a real
is.
challenge.
It is.
And then it makes it so that it's all the more important, I would think, or would you agree, that it's more important, that now being more professional is more important all the time?
absolutely, it's so hard to deal with. I don't want to say anything bad about anybody, but it's so hard to deal with people who aren't professional, don't return calls, don't get back to you and confirm appointments, things like that. It's very difficult. We're very busy, and we need people to act in a professional manner. We need the listings to be accurate. We need the information. We need stuff done in a timely manner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's great. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Dave. You're welcome.
So that's fantastic. Thanks, Paul, so much. For those of you who don't know, REMarkTO is a meetup group. We've got 1,545 members, I think, as of today. It's one of the largest sales and marketing meetup groups in metropolitan Toronto, probably in Ontario. And our goal is to share sales and marketing strategies. It started off specifically for real estate, but we found that an awful lot of what we talk about is transferable to other industries. We have the mortgage industry, mortgage people come to us. We've had investors come to us. We've had people who are just interested in sales come to us. And some of the speakers that we have are not even related to the real estate industry, because what they do is translatable to our industry as well. The whole premise of it is that it's free. It's absolutely free. The content is free, and that we bring in not professional speakers, we bring in people who actually do what they're talking about. The last thing we want to have is a series of talking heads who tell you what you should do. What we have are people who tell you what they do, and what they do to help people make more money, or what they do to make themselves more money. It's excellent. Addie, are you on camera now?
Not right now.
Well, why don't you try and get on camera? One of the things we're doing is we're trying to a little bit and make it a little more interesting. When we started this off, we started last year, Addie and I took it over in early 2015, and we thought we would move along in a really quick progression. We'd have lead generation, and then lead capture, and then lead management, and then contact management, and then marketing, and then how you handle the sales and all the rest of it. And the reality of it was we spent all 2015 talking about lead generation, and we haven't finished it yet. We haven't finished it.
There's still so much more we can talk about.
But this month, we thought we've got to do something else. We just can't keep talking about generating leads. What do you do when you get one? We've got to talk about that once in a while. So this month, we're really fortunate. We're going to talk about the marketing of them. And we have 2 people who have cutting-edge platforms to share with us tonight about how they help agents market properties. The first speaker is going to be David Pillip. Right? And he has what's called a Matterport platform. I'll let him tell you all about it, but this is really cutting edge. It's not just taking pictures of a house anymore. The world's has changed so much. So come on up, David.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
Hi.
This is the thing. It does nothing. It just stands here and looks pretty. It's a camera that revolves 360 degrees. It's a 2D and a 3D scanner. When you take the scanned images from the camera, they're very high resolution, high density scans that are stitched together by the computer system, and eventually you end up with whatever house you have in a dollhouse view or as a floor plan view. And if I can get Addie just to click on the other side of this, just in here as floor plan, just pop that. It'll show me the same plan of how you just grab that and pull it up if you can. Right? This will show you the actual floor plan of the house, and we know this one happens to have an outbuilding and a garden. From here we can pop in with our little walking guy, into any room that's in the house. So let's take a look at how people are looking at houses now in 2016. They get a listing off of MLS.ca. They receive that address from their agent as part of the Collaborate or part of their night email alerts. They look at that address, and then they go to Google Street View and they have a look at the exterior of the house. They look at the community, they see if they want to live there or not, but now I can actually go in here and I can look at the dollhouse view of the property. Let me just pop back here, please, Addie. I can now see this house from the work shed outside straight to the inside of the property. And that's a very unique perspective to see if they really want to go see that property. They turn around and then they will decide if they want to call that listing agent on that property. So why did I get involved in this? We're looking at a way to add more value to what we do for the services that we charge for. And we have to identify ourselves by providing something that I thought was much better. So you receive this back as a URL or as an embed code that you can install either into a blog post, you can install this into a Toronto Real Estate Board link as a URL, but you can then limit what is indicated for you on the top of the screen. When you're inside the property, depending on what selections you make, you can add things that are obvious, like a big arrow or a flag that says, here's the window, or here's the granite counter, or here's the large oversized room. I personally think those are a little obvious that people don't need to be led if they can go through. So the difference between a video is that I'm seeing what I want to see. I'm not being shown, here's the entranceway, the doors open down the hallway to the living room, through the family room, into the kitchen, and out into somewhere else in the house. This permits me to transit wherever I wish through the property. So I have a variety of different ones that are on Addie's thumbstick. If you'd like to just scroll down through, there are samples of someone that's done an airplane. There's a sample of one that's
Which one do you want to go to?
take this restaurant and pool hall. Let's see if it's there. Now there is a limitation in that I either have to run behind the camera as it turns a full circle, but the camera actually shoots a projected image that's from the ceiling straight down to the floor. So on the staircase between levels, you need to go in and you need to shoot each level. You need to be 3 steps away from where the camera is, or it sees you down the steps. Or what I very simply call the bridge troll, which is at the end of the bridge. Sometimes you catch yourself, so we have to be careful how we move around it. You can set this to autoplay. You can set this to shoot highlights, and then it'll transit through the next rooms yourself. If you've played Descent on the computer, you can actually screen capture your own view of you going through the property, just going from event to event and stopping where you wish. I think that's a nicer way to get a phone call from somebody that says, I want to see that house, that business. Restaurants, you can see the quality and cleanliness of the kitchen. The dining room of the old folks' home, you can see where mom and dad are going to be living. Let's suppose that you use this for the 2x4 stud construction site. I can inspect the wiring. Now it's important to understand that these are not YouTube videos. These are renderings that require the server to hold that model intact. You take the model, you scan it here, it turns up on my iPad as one of those. Can you grab that, or do you have that to an image? Right? You had, it's one of your, you got great toys on that.
I have too many toys right
You
now.
have too many toys, okay? So if you're able to grab the image,
Sorry,
that's okay.
where am I going?
You're going to go to find that image that I sent off to,
It's not loading up.
it's not loading up?
No,
It's not in that, I don't believe it's in that thumbstick.
no. Oh, you can just show it in front of the camera.
Which? Yeah, so this is a scan of a condominium unit. And that particular condominium unit is about 900 square feet. It took 24 scans. That's about 30 minutes of scanning time and about 20 minutes of running around and hiding behind the door while the camera scans and you hear it stop. It appears on my screen as a circle that's been added to, and I don't know if you can tell or not, but there are dark positions inside the middle of the scan, and those are actually inside of closets or shadows that need to be filled in. So you need to identify windows. Windows need to be marked on the top as either you can see out the window or it is reflective that you're seeing back in through a closet. It's reflecting your own image. So there is no way to hide, thank you, there is no way to hide the camera from the reflected image in the bathroom. Because the bathrooms are generally small, so you're going to have the camera visible within the bathroom in its own mirror, and you can't hide that as a window. It won't look through and past that, right? These I've summed up into 6 little tips of do and do not when you're filming this type of property, right? One of them, and I'll just make it simple as 6, right? First off, to my friends that have cats, I love cats. When you have cats around the chest set, they leave hair. For those of us who are ethnic Europeans, we love those tchotchke. They used to come in the red rose tea, and Grandma had them all on the windowsill of the kitchen. You got to get rid of all that stuff because every bit of hair and dust and everything will show. When you go into these models in this room, for example, this would probably be 12 scans, and you would be within 4 feet of the wall, 3 feet of the wall, and you would go down. If this was a bookshelf to my left, the Matterport will allow you to stand against the wall and read the titles of the CDs that are in the bookshelf. It's very fascinating. So when you go through the house, first off, you have to declutter. You have to have a look at genuinely removing all the personal items. And those are the wedding photos, the kids' photos, the I won the championship, all the things that you want to keep private. If you are very private, you need to make it all go away. The 3D captures every room, so it picks up everything, including all of your personal effects. One of the bigger items to consider is that you need to clean all the windows in the property. Because if the windows have that, we've been smoking here for 9 years in the house, haze on them, you're going to get all that yellow haze on the glass. It's important you kill it off. You're looking under the chairs, you're looking under the cabinets, you're looking in the kitchen. You have to kill the glare against the wall because the camera will find them all. It's a static scanner. So when you go into a property to walk through, you first need to do a walkthrough. You have to open all the doors that will be open because you can't do that later to come back. You can't open a door once the model's in process because the model doesn't know if that's a door or a wall. It's just an obstruction, right? So it's a bit different. Plan your shot and then you actually do your shot. You can talk all you want because it's not relative to the sound whatsoever. The cameras are about $6,000. They're sold out of Montreal, and you have to have an account to upload. Once you upload and it's hosted, we'll host the model for you for 6 months at a time. The way that they're selling so quickly, it's really academic sometimes, but you can still use the model as a marketing piece for this is what I can do for you. So you see the disc that's going around gives Addy a destination for where he's going. It's the same technology that Google Street View uses when you go up the street with the chevrons. So you don't have to necessarily transit one position to the next. You could jump to the far wall or to the far kitchen and then have a look at that space farther along.
David, are those light circles that we're seeing, is that where the tripod was?
That's a camera position. Each one of those is a camera position. So if you have 40 camera positions in a 1,000 square foot area, that would not be abnormal. You could do less in a 1,000 square foot area if it was a clear open span. But you have to go around doors in the hallways. I really recommend shooting in each threshold because then it allows you but you can read the titles. So that's a cooking light book, and you've got something else you can come in on and see their laundry baskets there.
I will zoom in on it.
You can't. You get high definition images. Anyways, as an added value and a way to bring these in, you have these as a branded tour to be TREB compliant. You can have as a non-branded tour to be TREB compliant, or you can add any details you want, an invitation for an open house. You can continuously update. I'm going to have Saturday 2 to 4, Sunday 2 to 4, whatever you want to do here with dates, and continue marketing this way by putting it online. You can embed this into a blog post. It's going to be branded and have your details, so you're using it as a marketing piece. If you extend past the 6 months because it needs the host, then you're into another $15 per month in hosting fees. For a 6-month block is about $100 for 6 months. They're not unreasonable expenses given that somebody actually has to host the broadband for you. You can take it down and do a screen capture with a Camtasia. Actually, Addie's very good at that Camtasia screen grab. And you could drive the model through yourself and then save that however you wish to your own system. Okay? An approximate cost on this for a 2,000 square foot house would be about $500. If you're listing the house at 2.5%, that's not an unreasonable business expense at $500 to do this type of work. It's about an hour per 1,000 square feet, and then you have processing time and trimming after. A 3,000 square foot house, we're holding a special this summer at $549, and then bigger just gets sillier because you have a lot more open space. Any questions? Any comments?
Do you just simply hit a button on the camera, or do you have the option to adjust the exposure?
You adjust.
Repeat the question first.
We were being asked if we're able to adjust any of the exposures. We cannot adjust any light exposure. We cannot adjust any camera angles. The camera has a GPS. It's location sensitive, and it won't let you colorize anything. It's a scanner. So if I have direct sunlight and the sun is coming in the camera, I'm going to get nothing. That's why you'll see that outdoor scene is shot right at that kind of twilight, and you're able to actually get outside. If I'm shooting a condo, I would need not to have direct sunlight. It won't look outside. It's just too bright for it. It'll blind it out. I can't change the colors or do anything. I can collaborate with the model, and at a cost of about $50, I can have someone who I permit access to the model. They'll download an object file, and that'll give them every room measurement to produce a floor plan for about an extra $50. Again, it's not unreasonable. It's about a 24-hour turnaround time, but there's a few people in the U.S. out of Atlanta that are sub-producing products from the original image files. But it's a computer data file. It's not a video. It's an actual data file. Not trying to make the answer too long. I'm trying to make this. You can alter. You can put it in a different lens. You can give it a wide angle. You can use a GoPro. You can shoot with your iPhone. This shoots at the same height throughout the house. Right? When you're going up the staircase, you're going to shoot every third step going up. I learned that out of experience, because otherwise the camera will not align with the previous height, and it'll just say, I can't find the previous shot. Once you're at the top of the stairs, you tell it, I've hit another floor. And you'll see here, floor 1 and floor 2, it self-numbers them. And it'll go to the basement, to the main floor, or wherever. You can just go up and down inside the model. There's lots of them to play with if you want.
Is the price of doing this, is that for me to take the pictures myself?
No.
You're coming in.
I'm coming in.
I don't do anything.
So the question being asked is if the price includes taking the pictures and doing all the work.
Yeah, I have to come in, or somebody like me comes in, they set up this camera, they'll do a walkthrough of the property of what is going to be seen or not seen to discuss it with you, and then they go and do the shoot. About 24 hours later, you receive a URL by email and the embed code, and you do with that as you wish.
So David, how long does it take to render a house? Like I know there's a big processing time that is involved in rendering the property, right? So how much time does it usually take?
I have been in the queue 5 hours.
Yeah.
And I have been in the queue 18 hours. And it depends who is uploading what on that day. So the servers are fast. I pay extra from my friend Mr. Rogers to have a higher speed of upload on my home account. And even that, sometimes on a large model, will take an hour or an hour and a half to upload that model to the server 5-6 hours. And I come back and then it's up and running. As long as you have access to an online presence, you can do that. I have the ability to download the model into my own systems to capture and demonstrate. So you're running a dedicated iPad with the particular software. Yeah?
Any other questions?
Please.
If somebody who's not really technically, or somebody who is a bit technically challenged, we can contract the service. Do we have to know how some of the things that you were doing to do that once it's sent to us, or is it sent to us already?
You're given a link in the same. Does somebody have to be technologically advanced to use some of this stuff? If you are able to load a photo array into your Toronto listings as the additional photos, if you are able to load this as a PDF brochure, then you are able to load this as the link to a Matterport tour would be the same as the link to a virtual tour from BizImage.
Okay.
And it's the same functionality. Some of the website providers now have landing pages that are purely by address, and they do all of that for you. It's all the same. But for that, I would then add all of your details, because that's not on the TREP system. That's on your system to promote you.
Right.
And that would remain live for a substantially longer period.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who?
Okay.
Well, I talk fast.
You did a great job, great job. No other questions. It's important to remember that this is technology that's proprietary. So this isn't something that as a realtor we can do ourselves. It's important. These are people that you have to hire to do them, like, unless you want to spend $6,000 on a camera and learn how to use it and all the rest of it, as David did. So it's so this is an evening where we're not telling you what you can do. We're telling you people that you can hire to do what you need done. Right?
That's excellent.
Okay.
That's just what I need.
I took this for myself
Okay.
as a value-added item, because people would say, what do you do differently than anyone else? And when I show them that I can do this, and that this has 3,000 views within the first 4 days, and I can show you from the Realtor link how many views, and does your and you see it spike, it's 0, and then it shoots to 800. Right? Then you can show them a counter with how many views, how many impressions it's had, and then it shows you how many visits it's had, where it's 2 different slides, because that's me going back 64 times. Then it'll show 64, right? Then I'm taking that link and I'm sharing it on Facebook, I share it on Twitter, I share it on LinkedIn, and you're eligible to do all those things because that's now your content.
Right.
And your content will have your branding and your contact details, whatever you want to make around this. Right? So I took this as a value add to do more for my sellers, because that's what it's all about, is getting listings. If you don't have listings, it's a struggle in this market.
Yes.
That's an important point. That's a very important point. Because this is a tool that most people would think of in terms of showcasing properties that you've already got listed. but it's a wonderful tool to use to help gather those listings. Win that lottery that Paul and I were talking about earlier, right? Like getting listings is the most important part of the business, generating inventory. So this is a system that would appear to be for after you've got the listing, this is how you showcase it to sell it. But in today's world, it may be the difference between you getting that listing and not getting that listing. Mm-hmm. That's why we thought it was so relevant to have up here like today, because a lot of the market is like people saying, well, you don't have to do this because, and I've had agents say to me, I'm not going to do a virtual tour, it costs too much and I don't need to do it to sell the house. And the answer is, you're right, you don't need to do it to sell the house, but if you have a really nice house, then do it in order to get the next really nice house listing. Okay?
Last one in,
Oh, yeah.
dinner buys the dinner.
That's right, Rick, thanks so much for coming, you're the guy, right? Thank you, Dave, very much. We have a, that's excellent, that's excellent. The one thing that I meant to mention, which I didn't mention, is we have a hash mark, or a hashtag, REMarkTO, hashtag REMarkTO. If you don't mind, if you're doing this and you're enjoying it, send out a tweet or a Facebook post or something about it. We want to try and drive people to watch the video if we can. It'd be nice if we could do that. Thank you, David, very much. Our next speaker has very similar but different technology or different platform, and that's why we wanted them here tonight. And REMarkTO, our goal is not to have people sell things. Like that's one of the very basic premises. However, some things that we do as realtors, we just can't do ourselves, and we have to pay for that. And some of this stuff is proprietary. So this is something that, unfortunately, this is a subcontractor you're going to be hiring. I'd like to introduce Michelle Sharp. Michelle's been in this business. I'm not going to ask how long. 16 years. And she's been involved with OBO earlier, and now she's with BizImage, the founder of BizImage, and cutting edge stuff. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. So appreciate it. Thanks, guys. It's nice to see familiar faces. I'm going to just grab the clicker because I'm good with clicking, although Addie's, pretty amazing at it. I'll just quickly give you a brief background on myself so you know who's speaking to you. Michelle Sharp, I've been in virtual tour world now for 16 years. Back when it first started in the Toronto market, there was only one person and we were selling virtual tours for $49. And that is sending a photographer to location, doing virtual tours, coming back, putting them all together. So it's been 16 or 17 years now. So a lot has changed. Previous to that, I was in real estate from a very young age, so I won't tell you how young, but it was back when typewriters were the in thing, and well, they were the only thing, and we were so excited when we got the automatic buttons that you could program a clause for an offer, and you could press one button and that clause, just the clause, so you got, the offer like this. And back then, of course, was also when all we had was Polaroid cameras. So the realtors in the offices, they would go out to their listing, they would take a picture, one picture, okay, with a Polaroid, they'd bring it back, they would write up a little listing thing, they would staple it to the listing agreement. We as administrators would take these listings, put them in the TREB envelope, and then once every week or so, a courier would come and pick them up, take them down to TREB, somebody there would do some magic, and then 2 weeks later we would get books, like we're talking books. You want to see a long line of books because you had C1, C2, C4, all the same codes, but a lot of books. So a lot has changed. So back then it was a lot of fun in real estate. There was more parties and that. Now it's just stress. It's like, what are we going to do now? And need everything done tomorrow. So I'm also an investor. I've got 11 rental properties, so I know what you guys are going through with buying and selling. So I'm going to talk about BizImage now. But I'm going to go in a different direction. I normally present to groups a little differently because I have such a different array of products besides just the tour and that technology. So I've taken a short form of what I have prepared as a listing presentation. So instead of me just kind of talking about what BizImage has, let's take this and put it in your brain as you are all at a listing presentation, and this is how you're going to get the listing. So it's very short form because it's only my products. You would have to add in your own services and all your own value adds, but it's a great starting point. There's great graphics. If anybody wants it, just email me. I'll just give you the PowerPoint, and feel free to use any of the graphics you like. So how I'm going to market your home online. So this is the most important. We know, as we heard Paul say, multiple offers, everything going above asking. things, we get people where I have to have the photography done tomorrow because I'm going to have multiple offers on Wednesday. I learned something from Richard Silver. Many of you know him as a president of the real estate board, and he still does this to this day. You take a listing agreement after you've finally got it all marketed to yourself. You do not put that on the market the next day. He sets a commencement date on every listing agreement, depending on the property, for at least 7 to 14 days later, because you definitely need to have everything ready on that home before you take it to market. If you've got your commencement dates and everything properly outlined in your listing agreement, you're not going to lose the listing. So there's no fear in this. So when we get calls saying, oh no, I signed it last night, I have to have it up on Trev tomorrow, I'm like, Anyway, not my place to then, we just do our best with 16 photographers and videographers and floor plan people to get out there and do it for you. But really, that's not. So we're at a listing presentation. You will have only 3 seconds to capture that consumer's online attention. Let's face it, who here is looking to buy a new car? Or you're in a store, a retail store, you're looking at clothing. I love clothing shopping, ladies in the house, we're going like this. It doesn't take me 3 seconds. I know within a half a second whether I even want to pick that up. So it's the same. Here we are looking at the single largest investment anybody is ever going to have, and we see photo coming soon. Really, if you're my listing agent and I go on at realtor.ca and I see photo coming soon, it is shame. Shame on anyone who does it. I can say this now because it doesn't matter. If you've got one out there, photo coming soon, shame on you. I'm going to tell you. So you have 3 seconds. So what are we going to do, Mr. or Mrs. Seller? I want to show you my marketing ideas, and I'd really like your feedback on which ones you like. And you know what? I'd like to invite you to speak to your family and your relatives and your friends and find out which thing it's not always as important to get you those rankings to your website as it is the presentation that you're providing. So you want to have that. Custom domain name. This in a listing presentation is so awesome. They're $20. You can get them through us for $20. We'll redirect your virtual tour, or go to NetFirms or GoDaddy. If you're using another tour company and they give you a URL or Matterport, then go and get a 123mainstreet.com and redirect it to whatever virtual tour you're using. But the great part about this is you can say, Sue, what should we do? Should we go 308 Grassy Road, spelled out.com, or RD? What do you think we should do? You get your sellers interacting with the whole experience. They get so excited. You mean you're going to make a website just for my house? Now, unless they're in a horrible divorce and they don't even ever want to remember that address ever again in their life, maybe skip this slide. But if they're not, and it's a home that they, like myself, 27 years married and 2 kids gone, I want to remember 308 Grassy Road for the rest of my life. I do, because it's the home that I brought up my kids. So whoever gets my listing, because I'm moving, is I want a domain name. So use this as some fun, engaging. So interactive floor plan. Now this is where you get your seller involved. Say, seller, we have so many options. My marketing department can do virtual tours, so they can do those cool 360s and the photos, and we can put it in a tour viewer. Or we could do floor plans. What do you think of floor plans? So ask them what they think. You'll usually find, and this is what I've found in all of my consumer studies, men love the floor plans. Women don't get it. And it's true. I got to tell you, I don't get it. 13 by 17.5, I don't give a crap where to put my couch. So as long as I get the best of both worlds, so I can see the 360-degree panorama while I'm clicking on the floor plan. And you can click and print those. So that's just one of the products that's built into the Biz Image Tour. Video walkthrough, and I agree what David said. Video is not for everybody. And even me personally, I'm not sure I love the whole experience of having to wait for somebody else to walk me through when I don't have time. I want to get there. Just let me get there. So, but there are some really cool reasons to use video. If you're at a big listing where you've got something like this, where you've got an amazing view or some acreage or just something, and so you want to capture that from an aerial point of view, and that's where our drone guys come in. So we've got the professional drone guys that are all licensed, by the way. Don't go and buy a drone. Well, or if you like, but just be careful. And the video, so what we've been doing with most of our videos is agent commentary. So if you want to push video because you like video and it's cool, then get in it yourself and promote yourself while the homeowner thinks it's cool. Yeah, I love video, I saw that. And then you say, okay, well, I'm going to actually do an opening for the video and a close. What do you think, what are the best features? So get them involved. This is the best type of listing presentation you can ever do. If you walk in there and say, oh, I sold 20 listings just in the last 2 months and all blah, 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 they're just like, okay, good for you. Let's talk about me. All talking about them. So this one I would always show in a listing presentation, whether it's vacant or not, because it's damn cool. You guys know how much staging costs, real staging. It's expensive, man. So what we can do at BizImage is we can do virtual staging. So it's much cheaper. You can either get this as a standalone product if you just want a couple images, if you want it built into us taking photos and then staging, and it's very economical for us to do this, and it actually looks like, and what most of our clients do is they'll buy those great little easels from Walmart, 20 bucks, have a few easels on hand. And then when you get these images, because they're high res, they're really good quality, you can get them printed and put them in the room. So even if you've only got 3 rooms done, put an easel in every room. Because let's face it, during showings, when a buyer agent is coming in to show it, they're not going to see virtual staging, right? And you can't always be there and have, the computer screen. So they're just going to think it's cool. But if it is vacant, get your seller involved. Would you like contemporary furniture, or should we go more country? So really just get them involved. Social media, we know, is crazy, and if you're not on it, you're losing out. And I have a whole other division for social media, so if anybody wants help with that. But the most important thing is with your images or your video, especially with video, that you load direct. So in other words, don't put a link up. It's great if you just have a virtual tour and you want to load the link or a Matterport. Load the link, but if you get a video file, or you're using anybody with video, make sure you get the actual video file, so you load direct. It just gets so much more viewing on there. We've got a YouTube built in where you can quickly make a YouTube video, so if you don't want to pay to have real video, but you want the YouTube video, and I always say, get it on YouTube. It's just the best Google result you're going to get for that property address. So stats, this is something you're going to tell your seller about. Say, you know what, market's very fast. We're going to have it on Realtor.ca naturally, which is the largest consumer site, but Treb as well, where all the buyer agents are, and all of the other websites. So I would like to send you a weekly stats report for you to be able to see how many online showings. Now this is all done in the BizImage back end, and because you've linked the tour to Treb, which then goes over to Realtor.ca, which usually via IDX feed gets to your own website. And that's the only thing I would remind people. If you're taking your own website and you're pulling the feed from Toronto Board or your local MLS system, they're pulling over the virtual tour URL. So the URL is going to say, whether it's Biz, I'll just say bizimage.com unbranded, bizimage.com unbranded, 12345, equals ref URL Treb. And that's what's going to get pulled over. So if you have any control over your own website for those links, once they get pulled in, go and just change that little ref URL. You can change it and save. So change it to your website.com. So wherever it says ref URL trebnet.com, just go in and change that and save. And then I know Richard Silver did that for years, and I used to always show his stats. And it was always richardsilver.com. getting the #1 hits. And that's only because Treb was pulling it over. But that's where you'll see the most of the hits. So this is just a feature that you want to make sure you have and built into whatever technology you're using. So I left this slide blank for people to start building their own. And then that one is just our Q&A. I'll just pull up a couple of live examples now to explain the technology. So we'll go to the first one. This one's a photo tour with a faux video, and it also has the immersive floor plan. I didn't bring any fancy equipment because I don't know how to do any of this. But we bought lots of it, and we've sent people for training, and we've got 16 photographers across Toronto through Ottawa. We've got 3 guys now doing the floor plans, and we've got a team of videographers. Very rarely do they all do the same thing. So a video person doesn't usually want to do floor plans. A floor plan guy doesn't usually want to do video. Once you learn how to do it, you just want to focus on that. And with the volume we get, it's hard to do it any other way. So it always opens, our technology opens, we pull the data from your company, so you'll always have a logo. You'll see where it says overview photos, there's a blue line there. All of them are customized to basically your company, but you can go and customize them. I've got one client who loves pink, and so she wants all hers pink, and you can just go in or ask us and we'll customize. So that's just the overview, and it just kind of pulls the 8 photos, the main 8 photos that we've taken. The Photos tab will pull all of them, so you can either play in a slideshow or scroll down and see them all. But these are all high-resolution images that you can grab and use on your brochures, etc. Now, the Video tab, oh, and there's the floor plans at the bottom. The Video tab, it may take a couple minutes. Oh, no, it's there. This is what we call a faux video. It's not a real video, but it's $5. What do you want for $5, right? We took the tour for, say, $139, and now you want a video because you want a video file. You don't want a YouTube, you want a video file that you can load to Facebook, that you can load to YouTube directly. You don't want it automated from somebody else. And so really it's just a slideshow, but it's a video file, so it's cool. The immersive plan, this is also where our viewer, if you're using Matterport, and you want your Matterport in there, just send us the embed code and we'll put the Matterport. Or if you're using any other different technology, same with the video. If you've done your own video, and again, it better be okay. I'll give you a little leeway there. If it's really, really bad, we might say nah. This is our immersive plan, a little different than the Matterport, where you simply go on any of those and it moves around. It's not necessarily the full walkthrough, but it gives you the experience of being in. And if you scroll down a little bit, Addie, you can change the setting to floor or measure, and then that will show it with all the dimensions, right? So you can actually see all the measurements.
So does that mean that when you're actually doing that plan, it's actually measuring?
We're doing all the measuring, yeah. So if you scroll down further, you'll see floor plan in imperial, and you'll see metric. So, and you can go ahead and click on whichever one. So if you need a PDF of the actual floor plan. Now, of course, because this is marketing purposes, we're not liable. So if it's a machine, like it's a machine much like this that does all of this. So, and it takes some time. Our rendering service, we have real drafts people that have to do this. So photographer has done all the pictures, done the floor plan. He goes home that evening, sometimes gets to have dinner. Then he'll upload, and the professional drafters will have it done within 12 to 24 hours. Comes back to our office, we embed the code into the tour and send you an email. So it is all done for you. So, let's go to another one. I want to show you something different. So the next one is, okay, this one's just a regular tour. So for example, she would have paid $139 for this one. But the cool part about this one is we've got on the, oh, you might have to copy and paste the whole link there.
Trying to make it work. There we go.
Agent video bios are so important these days. It's another service that we offer if you want to have your own bio done. But the thing about having a bio done is, sure, you're going to post it on your YouTube, your Vimeo, your Facebook, but how's it ever going to get seen in all kinds of other ways? On the branded tour, for example, this is, scroll down to the agent contact information. So on the agent contact information, we always showcase all your social sites, all of this stuff. If you just click on Ellie's face, it's going to load her bio video. So you've got a tour viewer that is totally going to work with what you want to do. So if you want to do video or whatever, it's all going to load there. So now on every branded tour that she's doing, her video is getting that much more traction. So that's just another cool feature on the tour viewer itself. And so we'll close out of that one and we'll go and look at, we do white screen or not white screen when it comes to video bio. It's kind of up to you. There's other features that I'm not going to get in. You can look at all of our samples on the site. We'll go to the next, we'll go to the next one. And this one is just a drone video walkthrough. Now, I don't have it embedded to a tour. I just kind of wanted to show you what it looks like in the drone view. And we won't listen to the music, but we do all the editing, and like a drone, an ultimate video is only $599. So we're gonna send a drone guy. He'll also do the professional photography. So, because it doesn't matter what you're doing, you still need 20, 25 photos for your MLS system. So if you're getting a video or a floor plan or whatever, you still have to always have those photos because you need them. So he'll do the drone, he'll do the photos, he'll also do the walkthrough, and then we'll put it all into the one nice tour viewer. Then you can do some options like get a domain name, but it'll always have the same look and feel with your branding front and center. So that is basically, this one is just a, no agent commentary, it's just a cool video. And we'll,
That was the drone?
that one has the
Inside
drone.
house?
No, not inside the house. That was the drone aerial. So it did a swoop in and showed, and it probably closes with some drone stuff. So the last one is, this one we won't listen to it because we don't have sound. But once it loads, this one is one where you would have an agent commentary. So for example, depending on the square footage, maybe 3,000 square feet, $399. And then an agent intro add-on is only $100. So you're still looking at only, $400 or $500 to have a video done. Now Natalie is actually going to talk about the property, and throughout the presentation, when she goes into the condo, she's talking more about the property. Now this is great for yourself and your own branding, but you can't use it on the MLS system because it's fully branded. So we will provide you an unbranded video along with the branded. And you just have to really know your stuff to get this out and come prepared with your, send your script in to us 24 hours in advance because we'll put it on a cool teleprompter and everything. So now I didn't go into all of there's brochures that are built in to the template. If you want to take your own pictures and you just want to use our cool templates, only $59. But again, if they're crap, we're going to say, go away, go find some other icky tour place. Most people buy our 139 package, which gives you 25 photos, 4 panoramas. So much of the back end stuff is all built in. $5 if you want that faux video that you can then put a YouTube. We do have automated YouTube now, but you still have to buy the faux video to make that video file. It's better than any that I've seen, which is really nice, but we pay an outside service. And all of that's included, and then 16 of our fabulous people to tend to you and 2 full-time staff. And me, next year, I'll see you in Belize, so I'll be on camera talking to you and promoting all the company, and my business partner will be staying here. So, yeah,